Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, after the presidential election results were announced, we all know what happened. Raila Odinga rejected the result, and he has his own reason why he's doing that. He has proceeded to the Supreme Court to file a petition. Of course, the respondent was served with the papers, and they have again filed the affidavit. So soon we will be watching the fight at the Supreme Court between the Raila Odinga or Azimio la Umoja lawyers versus the Kenya Kwanza and the IEBC lawyers, arguing there just to defend William Ruto and Chebukati. Then Akina Orengo waki-prosecute their case at the Supreme Court. In as much this is going on, the Deputy President William Somber decided to go back to Western Region, and to be specific, in Bungoma County. And while in Bungoma, Ruto attended a church service. There are some issues he spoke when he was in the church. But besides this, he got out to speak to the people. So it's like we are still in campaign mode. Ruto got out, and the entire Kenya Kwanza team, they were on top of their vehicle addressing wananchi. Just like some time back, we saw Raila Odinga also doing the same somewhere. So the questions people are asking, if we have a case in the court that is ongoing, of course, and soon the hearing itaanza, why is Ruto back in campaign? Why is he back in the uniform campaign? And why is he creating a campaign mood in the country? That is the question many people are asking. And so in this Punchline today also, we want to look into the same issue to understand why Ruto is back into campaign rather than being at Supreme Court or trying to get advice from his lawyers as they prepare for the case at the Supreme Court. So I wanted to listen to William Ruto shortly while in Bungoma addressing people. You just see the kind of mood Ruto is creating in Western Region. In this rally, there was Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula, and he's running with together Gashaba and the entire team. So just listen to them shortly and we will continue.
Nitawangatangazia tarehe. Ndio. Mimi najua mnataka kujua ile mpango yetu ya chakula. Tuanze kupunguza gharama ya maisha inaanza tarehe gapi? Ni kweli jameni? Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie yale mambo yote tulisema, I promise you. Ati? Na hiyo mambo ya CBC. Mimi nasikia ati mnahangaika kufanya homework. Ati mnafanya homework mpaka saa 6 usiku. So mimi nawashukuru sana, mjue tunawapenda sana. Tulisema liwe liwalo, Jumapili ya pili lazima tufike Bungoma hii, kwa sababu nyinyi ni wangwana sana Kenya.
Now we are continuing with our final discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you're not yet subscribed, so my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give our video thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Why is William Samuel Ruto back in Bungoma? That's the question. So let us get to the comment section. You tell me, what do you think about this? Back to our discussion. Now, if you check on the case Raila Odinga has presented before the court through his lawyers, and then you try to compare that with the respondent from the IEBC. Sababu najua mshtakiwa mkubwa hapa ni IEBC. Wafula Chebukati na IEBC team. If you check on how they are responding to this case, you just see an essay without serious meaning in response to what Raila Odinga is asking at the Supreme Court. they are not responding to the real case at the Supreme Court. Instead, Wafula Chebukati and the three commissioners are trying to play politics to an extent of even trying to bring in the issue of Security Council into politics. People who cannot get out to defend themselves on a political platform. Because look at this. When they mentioned the name of Raphael Tuju, because Tuju is a politician, he got to get out and responded to this issue because, of course, that is what politics means. But now, the Security Council, how can they get out to respond to that issue? They cannot. So that's the situation here. So generally, Chebukati and the team, they are playing into politics rather than responding to the case at the Supreme Court. Because the issue here is that the lawyers, sorry, the judges at the Supreme Court, they are not going to listen to the politics. They are going to listen to the case and give their verdict according to how you present your case and according to how the other side has defended themselves. So Ruto is not too much into this case because his situation, yeye ni kusema tu ya kwamba mimi wakati walihesabu kura Chebukati alisema nimeshinda na akanipea certificate, akanipea cheti, as simple as that. So for him, he has to defend his chance and his position as president-elect. But the main person here, it is Wafula Chebukati. So Ruto, having been watched on how Wafula Chebukati is presenting his defense side, you can easily conclude and say that this case might be heading to nullification of this election. Ruto is learning that they are going to nullify this case. And as a quick thinker, Ruto is not putting all his hope at the Supreme Court. And this is what has informed William Samoei Ruto to get back to the electorate, to create a campaign mode, because he understands that there might be a rerun. Martha Koome might call for a rerun in this election. And that's why Ruto is setting a campaign mode. And the Bungoma is critical. The matrix in Bungoma and the outcome of the result are telling. That's why Ruto is making his way back to Bungoma. In fact, many people and many analysts that I've listened to, they're saying that the election was fought, win and lost in Bungoma. Yani Ruto alikuwa na kura zake za Rift Valley na akakuwa na assurance ya Mount Kenya. He had it, and that vote was sure bet. But again, what you need to understand is that these votes were not enough to make William Samoei Ruto president. Lakini tunajua kulikuwa na kura ziliibiwa Rift Valley na Mount Kenya. So going with what Chebukati announced, it means that Bungoma and part of Western region made William Samoei Ruto the winner, according to the figures. So beside rigging this election, Ruto understands that he had numbers in Bungoma. And in case they call for a rerun, then the places should concentrate more is to make sure that he's getting it right in Bungoma County. If he got 400,000, then he should be getting 500 or 600. Remember, Bungoma has about 800,000 voters, registered voters. But he got more votes compared to railaodinga. It was double what railaodinga got. And that is the only area Ruto performed better in Western region. So Ruto is back to set the campaign mood and is going to areas where he is sure if he get it right, then he might win this election, according to him. And the Bungoma, why? Because Raila Amolo Odinga enjoyed the support of Bungoma in 2013 and 2017, overwhelmingly. Jubilee walinoa. But now, because Wetangula is with William Samoei Ruto, if he will get Bungoma voting with him, it means already he will have snatched that from Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is why to Wetangula, sorry, not to Wetangula, to William Samoei Ruto, Bungoma is another heaven for him. So Ruto is back to campaign because of the panic that his victory is going to be nullified by the Supreme Court. So the game here is that maintain Mount Kenya, maintain Rift Valley, but then now come in Western and fight to increase your numbers against Raila Amolo Odinga, because Western is another constituency that Raila Amolo Odinga has been enjoying from. And if he managed to fight Raila in Western and get it right, then that's how maybe he can become victorious. But if he fails, then he's done and dusted. Trans Nzoia has a mixture of Kalenjin and Luyas. It also performed well for William Samoei Ruto. So areas occupied by Bukusus definitely voted largely for William Samoei Ruto. And to that extent, when Wetangula was made the minority leader in the Senate, if ODM party removed Wetangula because they knew that Wetangula had another deal with William Samoei Ruto, they were right. But then if they were removing Wetangula on the ground that Ford Kenya party has only one senator, and then they are rewarding him as an individual, then they were wrong. They were completely wrong if that was the ground. Because in Wetangula, you have to look into the big picture. What is he bringing on table as far as voting for Raila Amolo Odinga as a presidential candidate? So Wetangula was bringing something substantive on table. And if you kick him out, he goes with it. And this can be proven on how they voted. I had explained earlier in other videos that in the Western region, Raila might control numbers, but Bungoma will be hard and Trans Nzoia. Because of what I explained about the rivalry in Ford Kenya party. You all understand. Kijana wa Malwa, Raila Amolo Odinga. So I don't want to go into that other side. So for you to get it right, get to the leader of Ford Kenya party. And this one can be explained on how the Bungoma people disciplined those people who decamped from Ford Kenya party, wale walikuwa wanajaribu kuiba chama, those who plotted coup. Eseli Simiyu and Wafula wa Munyina, party leader wa DAP party. Alipigwa Konde ako nyumbani, Eseli Simiyu ako nyumbani. Watu wenye wako hapa saizi ni wale wamechaguliwa kwa chama ya Ford Kenya party. So Wetangula commands numbers at home. I had also explained to you the issue of Lusaka. I told you Lusaka is going to win. Wangamati will not have chance because Bungoma largely, they still listen to Wetangula. That's how things are in Bungoma. So Bungoma is so dire to William Samoei Ruto. The issue here is that to assure Western region leaders that Wetangula is going to be the Speaker of the National Assembly, and that means third most powerful person in this country. Look at that. So they have to assure the people of Bungoma. And Ruto even said this while he was in the church, to officially ask the people of Bungoma to allow Wetangula to go and work at the National Assembly as the Speaker. Now wamekubali. The second thing was to assure the Luhya leaders that Musalia Mudavadi is here as our next premium cabinet secretary, prime minister. So they have now to compare this with the Azimio side. In Kenya kwanza, Wetangula, Speaker, Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Minister. Kwa Azimio, Raila President, Martha Karua, Deputy President, Kalonzo Musyoka, Prime Minister. So they tell them that if you go in this side, there is nothing for Luhyas. But Kenya kwanza has everything for Luhyas. That is what William Samoei Ruto is trying to plant in the minds of Luhyas. That's why he has gone there earlier, because he knows This is where Raila Amolo Odinga has numbers. But what you need to do is to get numbers away from Raila Amolo Odinga. And that's why I was suggesting in my own thinking, that the best way for Raila to get it right in the Western region, rather than sharing a vote with William Ruto, was to say that Governor Wycliffe Ombetha Oparanya is going to be a deputy prime minister to Kalonzo Musyoka. At least that will have elevated the Oparanya somehow a little bit higher compared to the position of finance minister only. So that now when Oparanya is in Western campaigning, he will be campaigning as deputy prime cabinet secretary. A position that Mudavadi had in 2007, deputy, and you know, it was good for Luyas, and it elevated him. So for Oparanya to compete and campaign on equal platform with the Musalia Mudavadi, he should be made something better than that. Because sasa Mudavadi hapa atakuwa anakalisha vikao za cabinet. Lakini sasa Oparanya anakuwa chini ya Kalonzo na lakini tu yeye tu minister peke yake. So look at that difference. If ODM will not campaign properly with proper strategy, it is going to create a situation where they are going to divide the Luya vote, where Raila has been enjoying as a wholesome. They are going to divide it with William Samoei, so they are going to share. If they will not approach this politics properly in the case of a rerun being called. So that is the strategy William Samoei is coming to Western, and to assure the people. Now they are not talking about 70%. They have done away with that. They are just talking about, we want to make Musalia Mudavadi prime minister, Wetangula is going to be our speaker, and we are with you people. Development is coming to Western region, looking for votes. So Ruto, he knows that this election is going to be nullified. And he is strategically going to Western because he's sure of Mount Kenya and he's sure of Rift Valley. But then winning or beating Raila Odinga, you have to dig into his constituency. Western region, Nyanza, Nairobi, and the Coast region is Raila Amolo Odinga's strongholds. Once you eat into one of these, then you reduce his vote. That's the game plan. I don't know what to think about this, but that's my view. Tupatane kwa comment section for more conversation. See you in our next video.